2, 1. Are we on? My dad says hi on the chat. I'm just waiting for it to come up on my monitor here. I don't like to start saying a bunch of stuff if it's gonna get cut off. So looks like we're up, Jeff. There it is. Start saying a bunch of stuff. If it's there it is. All right. We're live. We're on. All right. Hey, Dad. Thanks for tuning in. And thanks everybody out there. Looks like 3 people out there. There was 5 just a second ago. Now it's 3. All right, whatever. Go ahead and like the video if you can. I don't know if it means anything. It feels good out here though, I'll tell you that. And I think YouTube's doing different stuff now. It doesn't matter, but it's still nice to have some likes. And also subscribe if you haven't already. I noticed this week I got up to 1.54 subscribers, and then it went back down to 1.53. So it's like always, nobody ever wants to get demoted in life, right? Nobody ever wants to get demoted. So help me get back up to 1.54 for the love of YouTube, please. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna play a song to open this thing. My mom's here too. Hey, Mom. All right, my parents are here. Everything's right in the world. All right. This first song is an older song of mine. It's called Lost Soul Search. I always try to play like a positive, uplifting first song on these things, and this one's pretty uplifting. It's not as uplifting as like Keep on the Sunny Side or whatever, but it's still pretty good. I think it's just I'm pretty proud of this song. Animal Taggart's here. What's up, bud? I'm tuning in from Planet Fitness. Are you really? Oh my god, that's great, man. He's on the treadmill watching this thing. Yo, Noah, he's here. Noah, I just talked to Noah this week down in Las Cruces. My sister and Zach are here. That's good to hear from you guys. You guys were out last week. Missed you. And unfortunately, Zach, I'm going to be playing all banjo on this one. That guitar soon, though. Seriously, when I get my surgery, I think when I have some time off, I'm going to fix up my guitar, and so I can play the guitar more on this. The strings were just so big. I played it on my friend Seth's TV show in Albuquerque this week, like one song, and my fingers were hurting so bad because it's not supposed to be strung like that. It's really tight strings. It's bad. So anyway, and look out for that show coming out on cable access and on YouTube soon. Seth Hoffman and I did it's his podcast kind of TV show thing he does, and was on it. It was super fun, good times. And there goes my light. All right, this song's called Lost Soul Search. I know Zach loves it when I play guitar. I know he does. I could play the banjo like a guitar a little bit. Watch. Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. I drove my van all the way to California. I drove my van all the way to California. I am a lost soul on a long road, lots of mystery, and I'm on a journey. I am all alone. Sometimes I'm lonely, but the universe is providing. The universe is providing. It will make sense eventually. It will make sense eventually. All this rambling and all this searching will lead me to a place of understanding. When peace I find, it will be all mine. Before that, I gotta keep walking. Before that, I gotta keep walking. make sense. Eventually, it will make sense. Eventually, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. I drove my van all the way to California. I drove my van all the way to California. That's a true story. Thank you so much. Hey, Jeffrey Stork's here, man. Hey, nice to see you, Jeffrey. Thanks for tuning in. Jeffrey did lessons with me for a long time, like 3 years. He's good. He got really good. I hope you're still playing the banjo, Jeffrey. I know he plays a lot of instruments these days, but so that's a song I wrote called Lost Soul Search, and I wrote it at a time when I was rambling around a lot, which I always have done, I guess, for the most part since I was 18. I guess I've rambled a lot, but um, it's just kind of about having a song it's just like just believing that everything will make sense, even though it doesn't now. It might make sense later, even maybe after you die. My light keeps turning off on me. I don't know why. It's a piece of junk. I need another. Put that on the list of the mountain of things that I need. But yeah, it's just kind of like, and I play it now. I think I wrote that song in like 2010. That's like, what is that? God, 13 years ago, 16 years ago. Oh my goodness. Jeffrey Stork says he's still playing banjo. It's my favorite. Good, good. Jeffrey Stork came a long way on the banjo. If you need some lessons, let me know. Or Jeffrey. Jeffrey could probably teach some lessons now too. He might not have time for it though, and I have a lot of time for it. So please let me know if you need some lessons. Can teach you guitar, banjo, bass, drums. I don't have any drums right now, but I could teach you how to play them. I think so. And guitar. Did I say guitar? Anyway, guitar, banjo, bass, drums. Probably, yeah. Teach you any of those. I can't make you a master of any of those, but I could teach you the basics and get you up and running for sure. I guess I've mastered. I'm pretty upper intermediate when it comes to banjo and guitar, and I'm a great bass player. And I'm a good drummer for a lot of people. They really like the way I'm a very simple drummer. I keep things simple, they get overcomplicated. Anyway, that's a whole nother point. Anyway, that was Lost Soul Search. Thanks for listening. Harmonica. I could teach harmonica. Yeah. It's hard to teach harmonica, but I could teach it. Yeah. The hardest thing about harmonica is knowing what key to play for the song. I can teach you that too. All right. Don't have any non-alcoholic beer or real beer today, or even Zevia. I'm on a strict budget out here in New Mexico. Don't have that many gigs, and so I'm just drinking lemonade today out of my mason jar. So back to the basics here. My 40th high school reunion is coming up. Talk about years going by. Oh my God, I know. Your 40th, Michelle? That's insane. Oh my God. But yeah, I get this Ultima powder. It's really good for somebody with a heart condition because it has electrolytes in it. And it goes a long way. And it makes a really good margarita too. If you put I don't have any tequila right now, but if you put a little tequila in your Ultima with some salt, it's a sugar-free margarita, which is really good. And you put some like that Blanco margarita, which is the white clear margarita. It, I'm sorry, clear tequila. Put the clear tequila in there. Apparently, that's tequila is like one of the lowest calorie alcohols when it's clear and stuff. So whatever. But yeah, it makes a good margarita too. But for now, just drink some lemonade, Ultima lemonade. It's sweetened with stevia, so it's really good. I like it. I should get sponsored by them too. I'm gonna write all these sponsors down. So be sponsored by. I drink it all the time. All right, so this, oh, I was gonna say too, I've got a new lens. I hope it looks good out there. Does it look good? I think it looks good. There's like this line though, right? Or is that I'm just tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. These lenses, man. You put these lenses on your phone, and then I don't know what's going on with that line. I wasn't there earlier. I'm pretty sure. If I turn this off, I bet it goes away. Now my light won't turn off. No, it's still there. See that line? You see, there's a line. Dare I try to adjust the lens? No. Oh, it's just the lighting from outside, duh. Because the sun is moving out there. It's a really windy day again here on my land. Really, really windy. I think it's windier than it was last week when I was talking to you out here. Yeah, you could see things shaking and stuff today. And it's cold. That's why I've got my hat on today. It's kind of cold. It's probably like upper 40s maybe or something like that. It's the coldest day since I've been here, which has been like a month now. It's May 1st, May Day today. I'm gonna talk more about that later. But today is also Bandcamp Friday. So if any of the musicians that you like to listen to, like me, are on Bandcamp, which I am, I've got my whole catalog is just about my whole catalog on Bandcamp. And you can go to my website, just go to my music page on my website, FastHeartMart.com. And if you buy anything on Bandcamp today from me or any other artist you like, 100% of it goes to the artist. So please buy like 100 songs from me today, and that would be awesome. I'll get all the money for it. So do that, please. Um, so it turns out my blue, I didn't even think of this till I got here this time. Because I come through New Mexico like once a year, you know? And of course, I used to live here for a long time. But this blue is kind of like the New Mexico blue. They have this blue that they use all over the place. And I just realized this week, I was at a coffee shop with a friend of mine, and the woman at the counter was like, I really love your blue cowboy hat, which is right here. So those of you who didn't see the episode last week, this is the blue cowboy hat. And it's supposed to match my banjo because it is the exact same spray paint, but they do look a little different just because of the different types of material. But anyway, this girl's like, I love your cowboy hat. It's like New Mexico blue. And I was like, that's right. So I feel like I fit in so good out here in New Mexico with all my blue and stuff, you know? So it's really nice. And so this next song is gonna be by well, no, it's not. I skipped ahead. Anyway, yeah. This next song is gonna be by a New Mexico artist called the Handsome Family, and I've talked a lot about them before. But check them out. They're really great. They were a huge inspiration to me back in the early 2000s. And this is a song of theirs called My Sister's Tiny Hands. That's why I set this up the way I did, but I skipped around. I can never stick to a set list. It's crazy. We came in this world together, our arms wrapped around each other. My cheek against my sister's, we were born like vampires. We lived upon the river, where the black clouds never live. The sunlight spread like honey through my sister's tiny hands. A pick and sour apple and the wild waving grass. Sister stumbling right and the foot in her body. And every creature cast a shadow under the sun. But then the sun past the waving grass, some shadows get dragged along. So alone I took to drinking. my bottles of cheap whiskey, stumbling through the backwoods, killing snakes with the sharpest stick. But still I'm laughing, and while waving breath, I my sister splashing at the river sparkling so I took my road-speed jacket and an old iron shovel. I set the wood to burn and filled the river up slow. And every creature cast its shadow under the sun's golden finger. But when the sun was fast waving bright, some shadows get dragged along. My Sister's Tiny Hand by the Handsome Family. And Seth Hoffman is chiming in. Hey, Seth, good to hear from you. Seth's going to be on here sometime soon. Before I leave New Mexico, we're going to do one of these together. He's going to come on mine. I was on his on Monday, and he's going to come on mine. We'll play a couple tunes together. He'll play a couple songs, and we'll just talk about stuff, you know, and things. That is a beautiful song, right, Seth? I think Seth was agreeing that he has a hard time sticking to a set list too. When you're in it, yeah, I just watched his latest episode and they were just talking about that. When you're in a band, you kind of have to stick to the set list because everybody will wig out. Be like, the bass player's like, I thought we were playing this song next. I wasn't even ready for that song, you know, whatever. So you can't do that as much when you're in a band. I guess the Grateful Dead probably did, but hey, thanks Noah. Thanks for the good feedback. He said it sounds good. I'm hoping it sounds good. I'm like pretty far away from the phone. I'm playing the banjo lightly. Not using the bass player today. So hopefully it sounds pretty good out there. I'm trying to be gentle on the banjo. My newest song that I'm going to reveal here in a minute is more of a gentle banjo tune. Even though I can make it upbeat banjo tune, I'm going to play a very gentle style today. Then I'm going to play this next song. Is for a very special friend of mine, Christina Kelso. I don't know if she's out there today. She watches a lot of times, and she has been a friend of mine since the pandemic, like the middle of the pandemic. She was a lot like me. She spoke out, you know, in the opposite direction of most people, you know, with the MAGA injections or whatever we're calling those things now, the warp speed MAGA jabs. Or I know a lot of people get offended by that because it offends everybody equally, which is nice. That's a good term for it. The warp speed MAGA jab, even though whatever. So hopefully I'm not offending anybody. Lori, I'm thinking of you. Hopefully Lori's not offended by that. She used to be, but hopefully she's not anymore. So Christina Kelso just recently became a Patreon member of mine, just yesterday actually. And that's really nice, really nice. I've got some good patrons on Patreon now. It's building up, which is nice. It really feels good. I'm telling y'all, if you just stick it out and you tell the universe what you want, and like everything starts to look like it's falling down beside you, everything's falling down. You just tough it out. You wake up in the morning, and then you got another patron from Christina Kelso, who's giving you some money every month, and I'll talk more about other sponsors later, but this next song is for Christina. She really likes this song. It's called "I Am a Bear," and it's an older song of mine as well. Seems like that's all I say anymore. This is an older song of mine. This isn't. I don't know. I play new songs too. I'm definitely revealing a new song today. It's called "Fools of Us," and that's gonna come up. Actually, after this song, I'll play that one. I think. What are we? How far into this thing are we? We're like 20 minutes. I'm going way too fast. I'm gonna have to like slow this down. I need some tequila in my lemonade here. Try that, y'all. Try it sometime. Get yourself some Ultima, which is a great drink. You can drink that anytime. It's really good for you because it doesn't have any sugar and it's also got electrolytes. But then every once in a while, just put a little drop of tequila in there. You know, a little shot of tequila in there, and it's the best margarita you've ever had. And especially if you add a little bit of salt too, like pink salt, whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's good. Thanks, Seth. He's out there cheering me on. Does Chip have another gig today somewhere else? I think he does, dude. That guy's been moonlighting on me a little bit lately. I don't even know where he is today. So ever since I got to New Mexico, he's been enjoying himself too. So I don't even know where he went. Damn it. Bass players, man. You know, I was on Seth's podcast on Monday, and it was really fun. And we were talking about Chip, my bass player, and I said something on there. I was like, he's the best bass player I ever had, and I shouldn't have said that. Probably I don't know. I think I said that, and but I was just kidding. I've had some really good bass players, Tom Warner, Tanya Nunez, Gabe Bass, Scott. I've had like so many good bass players over the years, and I didn't mean to like step on their toes. All I meant was Chip is like he's a good bass player. He's been really good to me, so I'm sticking with Chip. You know, we're sticking together. And if other musicians, drummers, you know, accordion players, washboard players, whatever, guitar players, they want to come and join Chip and I, that's fine. But Chip is staying. Me and Chip are a team now. We're like peanut butter and jelly. We go everywhere together, except for today. I don't know where he's at, but I'll have to talk to him when he gets back. Maybe I have to reprogram something in him. Anyway, all right. This song's called "I'm a Bear." I am a bear. I didn't play this song yet, did I? Shit, I didn't. Can't even think. Shane, what's up, Shane? Shane says hi. Shane's Seth's son. I've never met him in real life, but I've seen him on the videos and heard really good things. Seth, when I was playing up at the Santa Fe Spiritual Center, they were really impressed with Shane. They were like, Shane gets up here sometimes too, and he plays, and it's like he's like a natural performer. He's not afraid at all. So they were like super impressed with Shane. So let Shane know. All right, this song's called "I'm a Bear." I gotta get the lyrics. Hang on. This is an older song that I don't play a lot these days, but I probably should. Where'd it go? I had the lyrics just a second ago. Seriously. There it is. He says, thanks for passing along the kind words. All right. How old is Shane now, anyway? I know he used to be referred to as Baby Shane, but I don't think he's definitely not Toddler Shane, is he? He's probably even older than Toddler now, right? Is he Little Boy Shane? Yeah, he's Young Boy Shane now. 5 years old. I am a bear, I can go anywhere. There's some money from the swarm of bees and you. You better respect me. Yeah, you better respect me. I am a bear, I am hungry. Drink anything to quench my thirst, and I eat anything that don't eat me first. Yeah, I eat anything that don't eat me first. I am a bear, I can sleep anywhere without a care, 'cause I'm covered in hair. I have nothing to fear. Yeah, I have nothing to fear. stop and stare at my marble, 'cause I am so powerful. Yeah, I am so powerful. I am a bear, I am a bear. 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 I think I've told you before on this podcast why I don't play that song that much anymore. And it sounds like it's raining out there, but it's not. Yeah, it is. It's actually raining out here, y'all. That's really good news. It hardly ever rains out here, so that's good news. It got some rain here. Because I'm trying to live out here one of these days all the time, and I need to catch my rainwater. So there's some rain coming in. That's really nice. Good news. Good news. But anyway, I stopped playing that song because you can look it up in the Urban Dictionary, because we have 5-year-old Shane listening today, and we don't want to talk too much about it, but look up in the Urban Dictionary what a bear is, and it just became unpopular to sing that song, like, I am a bear, even though I don't look anything like a bear, like, whatever, but I just was like, oh, man. But I should start playing it again, because bear is a bear, It doesn't have to be that way. Anyway. All right, I guess it's almost time to reveal. Seth says he'll cover Shane's ears. Okay, ready, Seth? Cover Shane's ears. Okay, so a bear is a slang term in the homosexual gay man community, where if he's like a big guy with like really hairy and a beard and stuff, those are bears anyway. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. And you can uncover Shane's ears now, Seth. That's it. Anyway. Somebody told me that after I played out one day. They're like, you should know, bear has another meaning, and I should have told them it doesn't. In my world, bear only has one meaning. All right, there's only one meaning to bear in my world, so I don't care what warped world you're living in. It's like, I don't, not no offense to that community. All respect, all due respect. I'm just saying, in my world, a bear is just is a big animal that lives in the woods and is not friendly all the time. uh, like Dylan would be a bear, kind of. Yeah, I guess so. If only, yeah. And I actually, I live in San Diego, and we have a big LGBTQ community, the Rainbow Coalition or whatever. We have a lot of people in the community like that. In fact, it's probably like sometimes I feel like I'm outnumbered, which is fine. That's fine too. But they have bear nights there and stuff. So you see all these dudes lined up outside the club, and it's because it's bear night, and it's like, okay, well, that's their thing. Anyway, I didn't mean to get into that too much. Not again, no offense to anybody out there, especially me. I'm trying not to offend myself here. But yeah, so I got a new song I'm gonna reveal to you here in a second, and but I wanted to talk about one of my favorite, like one of my favorite sources of media. I guess now it is definitely that lens is definitely messed up. It's like this whole side is weird, right? Does anybody see that? You definitely see it. It's right there. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. But I listened to a radio. It's an online radio broadcast. It's called Media Monarchy, and I've been listening to them pretty steadily since 2020. I listened to him a little bit before that, um, and I've always had a lot of respect. His name is James Evan Pilato, and he lives here in New Mexico currently, up in northern New Mexico, and I think I'm gonna go see him actually on my way to Colorado, if things work out on his side. I think his wife was writing me and said that they think we can get together. So anyway, James Evan Pilato does this online radio station called Media Monarchy, and at the end of every episode called the morning, what's it called? Morning Monarchy, right? It's the morning. He has two shows a day. He has a music show and like a talk, like kind of politics show. And the Morning Monarchy is the one that I listen to the most. His music show is great too. He's very eclectic with his music range is everything. It's very diverse, and I love the diversity of his music selections. But on the Morning Monarchy, at the end of every episode, he has a truther song, and he's played a couple of my songs over the last few years that no other radio station that I'm aware of would ever play. You know, like some of the stuff I was singing about. I thought it was be cool at the public radio station. You know, like they used to play me at KUNM here in Albuquerque a lot, and I think they still do play some of my old songs. I get people saying all the time, "Oh, they played you on the radio today," blah blah blah. And so it's cool. But when I put out these newer songs, you know, during the pandemic, the KUNM public radio station, I won't say who, but I had a person from the station say, "I love this, but there's no way we can play this on the air, man." You know, and so it was a media monarchy that was the one that would play my songs, and I listen to them all the time now, especially now with all the latest stuff that's been going on politically with Trump. Because James M. Pilato and that whole group of people, they would be apolitical. I don't even think they vote. I'm pretty sure. I know James doesn't vote, and I've always been like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I shouldn't vote. You know, like I think it's our, you know. But I get it now. I totally get it. Like, cause I mean, I don't. I'm always reluctant to start talking about this, but I voted for Trump, you know, in this last election, and I regret it, man. I feel terrible about it, you know. Even though I would have felt worse if I would have voted for the other main contender, you know. I'm not saying that, but I think I should have just wrote in Jesus Christ or something at this point because but anyway, James Evan Pilato represents the crew that has not been voting for a long time. You know, I've talked about this before, but the first thing Obama did after I voted for him, instead of stopping the Iraq War, which he never did, he he bailed out the banks, right? He bailed out the banks, and he said, what did he say? He just bailed out the banks. And I kind of knew then it was all a joke, you know, it was all just a puppet show or whatever. But I got dragged back in 2020, and that's when I was like, I kind of vacillated with media monarchy because he's so like apolitical, and I was like, nah, dude, I think Trump's got this, you know, whatever. I think Trump has got this, and Trump was saying all the right stuff when we voted for him, you know, but he hasn't done any of it, you know, and actually he's doing the opposite. And again, if you voted for Trump and you still love Trump, God bless you. I hope you're right. I hope I'm totally wrong here on all this stuff. But anyway, listen to Media Monarchy sometime if you want to like an apolitical like he's just totally checked out of politics and he makes fun of everybody and it's great. It's like it's like nothing else you can find anywhere else. It's just great. And he'll play stuff. It's just really interesting stuff that he like talks about and plays and I hope to meet up with him at the end of the month on my way to Colorado. So anyway, yeah, check it out, Seth. You could even send him some songs if you have something you think would work. He might play it on his podcast thing, cause or in his morning show. He doesn't call it a podcast. I think he just calls it a online radio. Anyway, and he's got so much on there, like it's amazing. He's got a whole world on his website. It's really great. He's been doing it for I think is it 20 years now? I think it was exactly 20 years this year that he's been doing it. So it would have been I think in 2005, right after. So he was like a lot of us, was just like, this seems really suspicious. What's just going on with this 9/11 thing, you know? Seems like it doesn't. Things are not adding up. So he was really in on that whole thing, and that's when I think he started his radio show. All right, enough of that. I'm down to 8 people listening. That's not too bad. Be nice to be in the upper digits. They're double digits, but whatever. One of these days, y'all will be watching and be like 100 people be on there screaming and yelling at each other on the chats, about politics or whatever. So anyway, today's May 1st, and then a month ago it was April 1st, obviously, and April 1st is April Fool's Day. And I don't know if you know much about April Fool's Day. I certainly don't, but I've been looking into it, and apparently it comes from the fact that April 1st, April Fool's Day, used to be the New Year. That was New Year's Day. You can look this up. It's pretty interesting. And April 1st used to be New Year's Day, but now it's called April Fool's Day because we're celebrating the New Year on December 31st, and January 1st, obviously. And the spring, though, if you think of it, the spring really should be the beginning of the new year. It's like, why would the middle of winter be the new year? It doesn't make sense, right? Except for maybe it was convenient for all the agrarian cultures to celebrate at that time because they weren't as busy. So, anyway, we've been fooled in so many different ways, and April Fool's Day is one of those ones. I love April Fool's Day, but it's just one of those things where, like, dude, have we just been punked by something? Satan or whatever this thing is, it's doing all this manipulation. And I've been thinking a lot about Trump and how, those of us who voted for him, this is not what we voted for. And we've been kind of fooled. He made fools of us, He did it on January 6th, even though I don't buy the mainstream narrative about January 6th, but it seemed like he trashed the reputation of all of his people. He just threw him out. He just threw him under a bus. So I knew then. I was like, that didn't seem right what he did, because I didn't vote for him back then. I didn't vote for him that time. But I was like, it seems like he just betrayed all of his followers. He knew that would happen. He invited all those people down there and just fooled them, and they all look like crap. And then some of my friends got in trouble, and I'm not going to mention any names on here, but I know some people who were personally there, and they got in trouble for being there, and Trump called them there. And so it's like, I was like, big strike in my opinion on him. I was just like, oh, dude. But then when it came to time for 2024 to vote for him, I was like, okay, well, he's not for the mandates, the injection mandates, the mRNA mandates. So, and he was, anyway, I think he did really good on that subject, but everything else, he's got us in a new war. He said no new wars, blah blah blah. But he made a fool of all of us who voted for him. And somebody like myself, I feel compelled to admit to the world that I did, out of finding truth. And maybe people will trust me more because they know I'll say how I feel. Like, you know how that works. Like, if you say how you feel all the time. Remember Simon Cowell, like on American Idol? People hated him, right? They acted like they hated him so much. But when he liked somebody, people believed him, Like, cuz he never lied. He didn't lie about it. He was just like, so if you got liked by Simon Cowell, you actually achieved something. And I hope that's kind of the role I'm playing here by admitting all this stuff, is that at least people can believe me when I say something, like, well, I'm just going to vote for whoever, people in the music industry tell me I have to, or the entertainment business. Because let's face it, being in the entertainment business and admitting you voted for Trump is like that's not a good career move. It's not going to get you anywhere for sure. It hasn't gotten me anywhere. I've got some dear friends who understand, and people who disagree with me who understand. Cobb, I'm looking at you. And Kevin, I'm looking at you. You know, I've got some good friends who understand, but I have a lot of people who don't. And for the most part, now I just feel like he just made a fool of us. And that's what this song is about. It's called Fools of Us. And hopefully it's more universal, so it'll still be relevant in a couple years instead of like everything else you can write now. Like you could write something about, I don't know, current event now, and in 3 weeks it doesn't mean anything anymore because it's like 3 weeks ago, you know. So I'm trying to write more universal these days, and hopefully this is one of the songs. It's more universal, but I told you what it's about. Here, it's getting colder now. The rain's coming. I've never seen it rain out here on my property. This is so cool. I've never been happy to see rain like this. This is great. I just wish I had a rain catchment system. One of these days I'll be able to catch the rain and keep it for myself so I can use it for living, you know, stuff to live. We all have to have water to live, if you haven't noticed. Everybody has to have water. But I definitely knew there was rain out here because there's so much plant life. These plants can't just like not have any water ever. So anyway, it went down from 10 to 7. I don't know. I must have said something wrong. I think we need to have a day where everybody comes together. It says, let's let bygones be bygones. We all messed up in these last 6 years. Somewhere along the way, we've all made mistakes, you know, since the pandemic. Let's just admit we've all made mistakes. Let's admit that all these politicians are not for us, and we know that now once and for all. We need to have like a national day of reckoning or an international day of reckoning. Like, okay, we're all people, all the regular people. Let's just get together and hold hands and say, you know, like, I'm sorry for if I offended you in any way. I didn't mean to. I'm trying not to do it again. You know, like, we should have one of those. But anyway, I don't know if I can do that. My sister agrees. That's nice. Jeffrey Stork says my brother's birthday is April Fool's. That's awesome. I've never heard of anybody being born on April Fool's. That's great. Yeah, I love playing jokes on people. I like getting played jokes on too, like when people pull jokes on me. Hey, Peter, what's up, man? Good to hear from you. Says, hey, Martin. Noah says agree too. Like, I think that's something we can all agree on. Let's have a day. We can all get together and say, hey, none of us was perfect in these last 6 years. None of us has been perfect, you know. And let's just get over it, you know. Stop canceling people out of your life based off of who they voted for, you know. Thank God it doesn't look like Trump. To me, it doesn't look like Trump is going to be Hitler, you know, like, but that remains to be seen again, I guess. But I think people are making it, that's like a, what do you call it? Hyperbolic or whatever. I don't think it would have been any better if we would have had the other administration. It would have been total chaos too. So I think it would be nice if we could all admit that too. Like both choices would have sucked in a different way, you know. So anyway, well maybe that's too much to ask right now so far. What's the difference between a large pizza and a musician? A large pizza can feed a family of 4. Is that what it is? Is that the joke? Maybe he'll give me the punchline while I'm singing the song. Yeah, I've heard that one. If a banjo player and an accordion player jumped off a bridge at the same time, who would hit the water first? The accordion player, because the banjo player would have to tune a few times on his way down. All right, here goes my new song. It's called Fools of Us. It's probably just a it's probably one of those songs you may never see that light of day ever again, but we'll play it once, at least once on this day. supposed to trust? Where do we go if we need some justice? Now that we realize just how vicious they tricked and made fools out of all of us. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. Do they please say by making all the fuss? Can't they remember we are eternalists? How will we ever explain to Jesus they tricked and made fools out of all of us? They tricked and made fools out of all of us. All the friction is rising like the heat in August. Rockefeller schools are not nutritious. I can't take it, I want off this bus. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. You might think I am being contentious, but I don't think of this as very suspicious. They made all this junk taste delicious. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. Left thinks they're right, but our leader is traitorous. He promised us things we did not vote for this. Turns out democracy can be surreptitious. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. They tricked and made fools out of all of us. All right, thank you so much. That's like my first complete song in a while. I've been really focusing on writing and stuff since I've been out here, thank God. I've had the luxury of having some time to write. I've had a lot of time to write. I've also been building a storage unit, so between those two things, I've been very busy fixing up my motorhome a little bit too, but I've had time to write. And those of you who are writers out there, if you ever have problems writing, if you're ever looking for advice from me, which you probably aren't, but if you ever do want to hear what I think about stuff, is sometimes you just have to sit down and write the worst song you've ever written. You know, like I'm gonna just play and just have fun with this and see where it goes. Um, I learned a long time ago. There's people who study like art and creativity and stuff. They say that you study a child. When a child sits down to color and make a drawing, they you never see a child like second guessing itself themselves. They just love the act of doing it and they believe in themselves. It's all just flow. It's like, and you have to be childlike whenever you're creating. You kind of have to be childlike, and it's the editor maybe later on that could be the adult, but when you're creating, let it just flow. Like with this song, I just threw this together pretty quickly because I knew where I wanted about 5 verses. I knew I wanted those chords. I've been playing those chords for a while, and I like that. I like that progression. I kind of like that melody, and I like the they made fools of all of us. You know, like I like that line. Um, I don't. What I don't like about that line is it does make you feel like none of us are really ever like with few exceptions, we're not really a victim. You know, so it's kind of got that victim mentality. Like they tricked and made fools out of all of us. Um, So it's a little bit of that I don't like about it, but the rest of the song I kind of really like. And what do you think about the word surreptitious? What do you think that word means, surreptitious? Like I said, the line is, turns out democracy can be surreptitious, meaning like stealthily, it's like a stealthy kind of way of being mischievous, surreptitious, right? I don't know. I like that word. And there's some big words in there, like some big, long, rhyming words, which I'm proud of. It reminds me of Bob Dylan. I don't know if you ever realized it. Bob Dylan's songs are all the same. I love Bob Dylan. Don't get me wrong, but it's always that setup. Seth and I were just talking about this song the other day. That song, "It's Not Dark Yet, but It's Getting There." He's like, um, "Not even room enough to be anywhere. It's not dark yet, but it's getting there. Anywhere, there." Like he does that. Like I think 99% of the songs, it's always that setup and it's that one last line that rhymes. And it works. It works for him over and over and over. Like he uses that. I love it. I just love it. And I'm trying to kind of do that a little bit with this song. Um, but anyway, let's see what the comments say. Okay, so Peter wants to know, he's got a banjo joke, it looks like. Peter wants to know, why did the banjo player leave his instrument on the dashboard? That one I have not heard. What's the answer, Peter? So sick. We love the rain in New Mexico, Noah says. Did you get any rain down there, Noah, in Las Cruces? It looks like my friend Jenny got snow last night on the other side of the mountain over here. Um, um, So, so Jeffrey Stork answered the joke. Why did the banjo player leave his instrument on the dashboard? So somebody would steal it. Jeffrey says, so somebody steal it, come back, and he had two more banjos. I've heard that joke. I've heard it told a different way, but yeah, that's a good one. Oh, Peter says so he could park in the handicap spot. Shit. Shit. Um, Jeffrey Stork says like he likes that. Anyway, it's all about the banjo jokes on here. I've got like a masterpiece song I've just unveiled, and we just rather talk about banjo jokes, so that's fine. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love banjo jokes. You know what you call a woman on a banjo player's arm? A tattoo. You know why there's no banjos on Star Trek? Because it's the future. All right. That's my banjo jokes contribution today. Anyway, I hope you like that song. And another thing I was going to say about the creative process, like Shakespeare is brilliant, right? We all, even though we can't understand some of his stuff, um, he's brilliant, man. Like it's really deep, and his stuff has lasted a very long time, And there's some controversy whether Shakespeare was actually a composite of people, other playwrights and stuff, but there's also people who think he was just trying to make a buck. It was at a time, it was around the Black Plague, right? And it was at a time when the economy was pretty tough around England. Like why, like if you look at pirates, the reason pirates were willing to take all those risks is because life in the cities was so terrible. They'd rather die at sea trying to steal the Navy ship, face execution and have the chance of living like a life on the sea in Tahiti or some beautiful island somewhere. And so times were tough, around Shakespeare. And I heard he was just trying to make a buck, and he would just not even think about it. He would just let it go. And the subconscious mind, if you could tap into it, which is basically what dreams are, right? If you can tap into that subconscious mind and let things come out, that's where the real like universal genius comes out. And I think that's what Shakespeare was doing. He just didn't give a damn. He was just spitting this stuff out. He wasn't thinking about it. He was just letting it come out. And I think that's a huge part of the creative process for me anyway. And I think that's why people who have schizophrenia, a lot of times they're very creative because I think that line between conscious and subconscious for them is real thin. It's like a real thin line. So they're able to like they're almost living in the subconscious all the time. So anyway, pouring rain in Silver City. Oh wow, that's cool, man. Um, my sister I think is laughing at the jokes, and I think Noah is too. Fire. Anyway, I got one more song for y'all. I did this one last week. Hope you don't mind. I do it twice. I gotta thank my sponsors though. I'm definitely gonna do that today because there's been some good sponsors lately, and I haven't mentioned them. I I always mention my parents. Thanks for my parents for sponsoring this show. As always, thanks you guys. And then as I mentioned, Christina Kelso, she sponsored last week, um, and she's also a patron on Patreon now. My friend Jared Curry, he donated last week, and so did Matt Irondeck. He donated, and then a friend of mine, Delaney Patterson, who also had a birthday just this week. She's donated quite a bit over the last few months. So thanks, Delaney, for donating. Um, and oh yeah, and I want to wish happy birthday to my friend Mark Slade. If he's out there watching this by chance, May Day is his birthday as well. And also Samia. Um, Samia is a friend of mine down in Silver City area, and I was there for her when she was born, and I was there on her first birthday. And Juniper and Daniel Freeman are her parents, and what a great family down there. So happy birthday to her. And for some reason, I never mentioned any about birthdays on this thing, but I am today. And then Cobb Irvin, thank you so much, Cobb. He's sponsored this show as well today. And Cobb is a special guy. A lot of you are special in this way, where I know you don't agree with the political stuff I talk about, and that's okay. I just feel like this side of things, especially in the entertainment business, like with musicians, is not getting talked about. Like our side, my side of things, is not getting talked about. Like why I voted for Trump, which is basically because he wasn't mandating this stupid mRNA injection, and he promised to give jobs back to the people who were fired, and he did all that. Which I give him props for that. That's cool. That's basically why I voted for him. I did not like Joe Biden. He basically told us it was going to be a severe winter of illness and death for the unvaccinated. And I just didn't, he didn't have to say that. He could have brought people together and say, hey, we think people should take this thing. But if people don't alienate them. Let's bring everybody together. Nobody was doing that. And at least Trump gave people their jobs back and back pay, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, thank you, Cobb. And people like Cobb who don't agree with me, but still support me. I really appreciate that. I think that's the American way. That's truly the American way. Like when Joe Biden was president and I didn't agree with all that stuff, I didn't chastise people every bit of the way and tell them F you for voting for this creep. I was just like, no, this is democracy. If we're gonna believe in democracy, then this is who the people chose. I didn't like it, but I didn't chastise and berate my friends. I could have been like, this party is gonna end the whole country. But I didn't. So anyway, sorry I got all off on that again. I'll play one more song. We'll call it a day. Oh, let's see if anybody else donated. I think I saw some come in. Looks like somebody bought something on Bandcamp, baby. Let's see. They bought I Am a Bear. I think I know who this was, and Keep on the Sunny Side. Um, it's yeah. I don't know if I should say their name because maybe they don't want me to say, but somebody bought some songs on Bandcamp, and Bandcamp lies because they took a processing fee of 50 cents out of the payment. So I guess they didn't take any revenue share, but they did charge anyway. Anyway, thanks for buying the stuff on Bandcamp. I hope you appreciate it. I think the cool kids are now buying files. This is me included. I'm not listening to any of the streaming sites if possible. I buy the files and listen to the artist. Unless the artist is dead, like, and they've been dead for a long time, I just feel like then maybe we should be able to get the files for free, you know. But anyway, I know their family's probably benefiting, but like Nick Drake, dude, come on. I don't think his family needed it. And also, he's been dead a long time, man. You know, like, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. His family doesn't need to be benefiting off of his death for that long. And my sister, thanks, Michelle. She says, you buy yourself a drink. All right, I will. I'm going to Walmart now. I'm gonna buy some. I might buy a bottle of tequila for the weekend. I'm only drinking on the weekends these days, which is cool. It really helps a lot, you know, with the writing process and everything. And we're down to 4 viewers here, so thanks for sticking around. Got one more song. I want to play it, whether you want to listen to it or not. I'm gonna play it. So here it goes. And I'll be back with you next week. It'll be next Friday. I got a gig Thursday and Saturday, but I'll be here Friday. And tomorrow at the Bosque Farms Farmers Market in Bosque Farms, New Mexico, which is just slightly south of Albuquerque. It's about 10 miles south of Albuquerque, and that's 9 to noon tomorrow, if the weather permits, I guess, huh? This is good. This is really good. I've never been happy to see rain before. Maybe a couple times, but this is the happiest I've ever been. I get rain on my land. It's like you buy this piece of land, you're like, am I ever gonna get rain over here? It's just like I watch these homesteaders in the desert all the time, like on YouTube and stuff, and they get so much more rain than I do. I think I get probably 8 inches a year. So I really got to prepare for when the rain comes. I close my eyes, only for a moment, then a moment's gone. All my dreams pass before my eyes, curiosity like dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind, dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. It's the same old song, just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see, like dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind, dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Now don't hang on, 'cause nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. It slips away, and all your money won't another moment by. Sing it, y'all. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Looks like I think I might have some chats to respond to. Let me just try to do that before. How come we can't tip you with a super chat on YouTube? I don't have the status yet, dude. I don't have the status yet. I got to get like 3,000 hours in a year or something. And anyway, and they keep tagging these live streams for copyright issues, I guess, because of the songs I play. And I think if I fight them, that they'll reverse the copyright issues. But who has time to fight them? So, my mom said loved your show. Thanks, Mom. I'm glad to hear it. And Peter Dame says, "Are you on your land right now?" Yes, I'm on my land. My sister said, yeah, he's on his land. My mom says 9G. And Peter Dame says, cool. My mom says, great song. My sister says, do you remember when I played Dust in the Wind on my flute and you played it on your guitar? Did we? Did we play that? I do vaguely remember. I don't remember completely, though. Those were good times. My sister was a heck of a flute player, actually, back in the day. And my mom says good show, or my dad says good show. Thanks a lot, everybody. You guys have been great. This has been a really good one, I think. I'm pretty proud of this one. Things are getting better, I think, with this broadcast. It's not so, I don't know, cringy, or it's not so many technical problems. Now I'm just going with the phone. So maybe I can get this line worked out with this camera lens. It's a new camera lens. It only costs $16. All right, I'm on a budget, but I just wanted to get a new lens and see if it would work better, and it does. But now I've got this line. I think it has something. Let me see if I can do something with that. Did it go away? No. Am I crazy, or is there a line? There is. Why is there a line? I wonder if it's that. There it goes. It's gone, I think. Just a weird ghost in the corner now. But all right, see y'all. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You guys are great. Thanks a lot for all the donations. See you next week, if not sooner. Bye bye.